Hey, what's up guys? How you doing? It is Lasty here. Welcome today to a new episode of the 3-tier squad builder here on FIFA 18 Ultimate Team. So, after I saw a few comments in the last episode telling me to do one of the next most popular leagues on the game, La Liga, that is the league I have chosen to do today. I think that may complete some of like the big 5 leagues or something like that. I'm not sure what we would have left. I don't think I've done French Ligue 1, so I could potentially do that. Or let me know what nation, or should I do hybrids or something like that down below. So if you guys do enjoy the video, make sure you do me a favour and hit that thumbs up button. Also, something to note, you've probably seen this a few times in my videos over the last few weeks. This is my Creator Series Xbox custom controller that I built, I made. We did the photo shoot and all of that good stuff. If you would like to pick one of these bad boys up, or any one from the Creator Series Xbox controller, there is always a link down below in the description. I'd greatly appreciate it. So, moving on in to tier number 1 then. This is for all of you guys out there, not many coins at your disposal. This is a La Liga team that costs around 10,000 coins. Now, before we get talking about these players, I just want to say that the La Liga is a very odd one. It's an odd league in terms of prices, because you either have a 10k team like this, you know, every player averaging around 1,000 coins or even less. Super cheap, but you actually get some gems in here. The middle ground I've pushed up to around just over 100k today, so that's boosting from tier number 1 to tier number 2 by quite some distance. But then the jump from tier 2 to tier 3 is astronomical, and my tier 3 side today is worth around 2.5 to 3 million coins. It's mad, because obviously, you know, it's La Liga. You want to see the Messi or Ronaldo. You know, you need to put one of those players in the upper echelon tier. So yeah, just muddle it around and use all the different players from different tiers, whatever would suit your budget, and I will try and find gems from each one of the tiers to put in my best squad at the end of the video, to get you like the best value for money and like best general La Liga side in total. So we start in goal with Moya. Moya's just an 81 rated keeper. There is a plethora of like low cost, low rated Spanish goalkeepers, all different nationalities from the La Liga, that are going to cost you just over 1,000 coins. Go with anyone. It's a goalie on FIFA 18. They don't make many saves anyway, right? So there's just get one that would work for you chemistry wise. Maybe you need a strong link because you're not building a full La Liga team. Whatever you're doing. Now at right back and left back today, I've got 2 players with a huge amount of pace, but the physical stat on Machado, however you say his name, is really high, because his jumping and his stamina are both very good, but his strength is not so great. Well, at centre back I've got 2 players. Again, when you don't have many coins, you don't necessarily look for like those big beastly centre backs. You look for the ones with a little bit of pace that are going to be able to keep up with some strike forces. So I've got Murillo here, 75 pace, 80 defending, 77 physical, and then Lenglet, 73 pace, 78 defending, and 75 physical as well. I think they'll do the job just fine, and they are an average of like 1,000 coins, maybe even cheaper than that. So moving on into the midfield, I've got 2 rares and a non-rare. We'll start with the non-rare. It is Hernandez. Stats across the board look actually really good. And, well, he's 6'1" with high-low work rates, 4-star skill moves. I think that's a great player to get for like 800 coins. We've then got Vas, who, this guy's inform has torn me apart like so many times. So I'm hoping the regular version will do me just fine as well. Again, he's not very expensive. And then we've got Rafinha, of course, 4-star skills and weak foot, plays for Barcelona. He's Brazilian. Got really good dribbling, just seems to be like a good player to get for around like 1,000 coin average. And then the front 3 of Budaboos, Bakambu and Ben Yedder. I think this strike force could be one to be reckoned with. You know, Ben Yedder is great, 4-star skill, 5-star weak foot, and then Bakambu, I'm yet to use him, looking forward to going into a couple of games with him. 6 foot tall with 87 pace. I think he could do a job for us today. So that's tier number 1. This is our cheap 10k La Liga side. Let's move on to the goals that I scored with it. So there was one standout player in this tier for sure, and that was Cedric Bakambu. I wasn't expecting it, because I've really enjoyed Ben Yedder in the past and thought that he was going to be the one to do all the business for me today. He scored a couple times, but it was really all down to Bakambu, who I think ended up scoring like 4 goals on his debut, which impressed the hell out of me, I have to say. And it was actually a really solid team. I came up against one or two teams that were definitely better than mine, and gave them a good game. So that was impressive and actually quite fun. That was a really nice goal by Ben Yedder, by the way. He just sort of like open foot finessed it, and it didn't even touch the net. It just sort of hit the bar, went in, came back out. I personally love those goals. I hardly ever score them. I probably scored about 3 on FIFA 18. But a goal which smashes off the bar and then comes out without even hitting the net is always going to be up there as one of my favourites. A really nice goal from the Frenchman. But now we move on to the goals that Bakambu scored for us. As I said, 4 on his debut. This one here in the 119th minute. And I run off shushing the guy because he'd been shushing me as well. And would you believe it that I ended up conceding a 120th minute kickoff goal? I mean, yeah, you probably would believe that, wouldn't you? Because that's what FIFA 18 is all about. So I got a little bit cocky too soon there, thinking I'd won that game. And eventually, I think I ended up losing on penalties, thanks to a couple of dodgy dives from my keeper. But so be it. What really came out of the squad was just that Bakambu is awesome. And in terms of everyone else in the team, like Boudabooz is alright. Ben Yedder is just alright this year. Like, I know he scored that great goal for us, but he's not quite as... He doesn't light up the attack like he did in previous FIFAs for some reason. So his stats and stuff obviously don't quite work as well as someone like Bakambu this year. The midfielders were great. The non-rare in the middle, Rafinha, was good as well. He's got a lot of like technique and stuff about him. But you would want to progress from a team like this pretty quickly. Maybe Bakambu is someone that actually sticks in the team from to go into like the best team. And well, I can tell you now, he is going to go into the strike force of my best La Liga side just because he scored so many goals and just really impressed me. I think if you've got the budget, the in-form Bakambu would obviously be an even better version. A nice little rainbow flick there from Rafinha, whips it into the box, and that's Bakambu showing you his aerial ability as well. What a player he is. So that's tier number 1. Moving swiftly on then. So moving away from the cheap 10k team to the 100k side for La Liga, this is the sort of team that you can expect to have. It's got some players that aren't too much more expensive than what we had in the previous tier, but it's actually got a few players that are completely, way more expensive and just way more elite on the game. So I start in goal with one of the more expensive goalies on the game because he's 84 rated. It is Asenjo. People pay a lot of more money for a keeper like that just because obviously he works in SBCs and stuff. And then at right back, I've got Nelson Semedo, someone that I've not really used this year. Very much looking forward to testing him out. He's very, very quick, 92 pace. And then at centre-back, I've got Umtiti and Laporte. Umtiti's got a bit more pace, Laporte a bit more defending, so hopefully together they'll work really well. And then what you get when you have like 100k at your disposal is maybe you start to throw in the odd special item here and there. I've got like ones to watch Theo Hernandez. Whether or not he gets an inform doesn't really matter. Like, he didn't cost me much more than discard, so happy to have him in the team. The midfield has been boosted up to Kovacic, Paulinho, who looks great this year, and then Asensio, someone I've been dying to use for a little while now to hopefully see how good he can be. Got a really good long shot stat and stuff, so maybe he'll do well for us today. And then we've spent the majority of our coins on the front 3. I've got the informed Sansone, who has got really, really good stats for someone that cost me 14.5k. Default left forward position, of course. I could quite easily just move it back to the left wing to make sure he's on like full chemistry and whatnot. And of course, I've done that right there. Then we've got Ousmane Dembele out on the right-hand side. He's got 5-star skills and weak foot, and 91 pace, 88 dribbling. We all know about him. Not as good as he was last year, in my opinion, but that's without me using him yet today. Hopefully he'll do a good job. And then I bought Karim Benzema for under 30,000 coins. Massive pace downgrade this year, but he has got good dribbling, solid shooting. Of course, 4-star skills and weak foot. He's 6'2" as well. Probably going to do a job at striker. So that's tier number 2 for all of you guys that have got just over like 100,000 coins on the game. Let's test this one out in game and see what sort of goals that we could get with it. Okay, so we did all right with this particular team. I think I ended up losing the first game I played with it, 4-0 though. And then it was the other games that I played that were a lot more successful. Yeah, but a 4-0 loss in my first game. For some reason, the whole midfield and defence was just super open. I think the 4-3-3-4, when you've got that attacking midfielder and two centre mids, and actually you've got no defensive midfielder anchoring things down, that can definitely be an issue for you, and that's something that I found with the 4-3-3-4. But I was able to score a couple of goals with Sansoni there, as you can see. I can't believe his price for the stats that he's got. I just feel like at some point in time he'll be worth a lot more than that, whether it's for an SBC or when people realise, wow, he actually has some really good stats. Asensio managed to get 1 goal for me. It wasn't a banger from outside the box. I tried it a couple of times, hit the bar once, and then just one went into the keeper's hands, or, well, he parried it out for a corner. But I would say if you get used to that and hit some long shots with Asensio, he's definitely someone that's going to be able to slot away goals from distance and stuff, and I actually really want to use him again. And then the other goals that we scored were with Benzema. He scored a couple goals, but overall, did he impress me? I don't know. I definitely expected him to get the goals that he scored, and there were quite a few times where he felt really clunky back to goal and wasn't able to turn the defenders, or didn't have enough get up and go or enough pace to get away from them and stuff like that. So overall, I think he doesn't feel like an 86 rated player this year, but when you do turn around and get in front of goal, his finishing is pretty decent. And then we scored this goal here with Ousmane Dembele, just to wrap things up for tier number 2. That was a solid goal, a really nice shot after a free kick. Let's move it on up to that really expensive tier then. Alright, moving on to the upper echelon, the most expensive tier. Now, just a disclaimer right at the start, I've got 2 loan items, which obviously could be replaced with the full versions if you wanted to. The market crash right now is a very scary place to go out buying players this expensive. I had them both on loan, and typically I play 2 to 3 games with each tier, so I've easily got enough to use my my Suarez and Ronaldo to get the clips that we need today. But yeah, you could definitely go out and buy the full versions, but beware, I'm not sure if it's a great time of year to do so. The market is just like crazy right now, and I've got the loan, so I might as well make use of them, right? I did go out and buy a Bale and a Modric and a Ramos. Like, those are some expensive players that I didn't necessarily want to buy right now, but this is the sort of team that you can build if you've really got loads of coins and you're in La Liga. See, I haven't got Lionel Messi. Of course, he could go in instead of Bale if you wanted, or if you've got loads of coins, you could get the central inform version that could go in instead of Suarez. But yeah, imagine Messi and Ronaldo in the same team. That would be pretty crazy. But this team is made up of Real Madrid and Barcelona, right? The 2 biggest teams in La Liga. They just have the best players on FIFA as well. So in goal I got Keylor Navas, and then in defence, I mean, we've got 3 out of 4 Real Madrid players. We've got Carvajal, highest rated fullback in La Liga, well, on the right hand side of course anyway. We then got the great pacey partnership of Sergio Ramos and Rafael Varane, just monstrous. There is a Path to Glory version of Varane if you want to spend the extra coins. If he was to get an inform or something like that, then of course that would get boosted, and the card design itself is really cool. My favourite fullback in this league is Jordi Alba. I imagine Team of the Year Marcelo's going to outdo that, but he's going to also cost a huge amount of coinage. Then in midfield, we've got 2 like great playmakers in the legend that is Iniesta, and then Lionel Modric. That's a new one. We've got Luka Modric coming in today, who has got the 4-star skills as well. Like, he works really well on this game. For some reason, just is a great player, even though he doesn't necessarily always fit the meta, being like not particularly tall and strong. He does a great job. And then we've got Casemiro, who looks beastly in terms of holding that midfield down. Great defending, great physical. He can also bang a long shot in every now and again as well. And then most of the money in this 3 million team, or 2.5 million team, whatever it costs, is Bale, Ronaldo and Suarez. So Bale being an 89 rated player for under 400k at this point in time, whether or not that continues to go down or goes back up again with like a market flip reverse, who knows what's going to happen. I am definitely not a good trader, that is for sure. But we've not wasted money today on these two players. Cristiano Ronaldo, looking forward to using him. It'll be my first time on FIFA 18, apart from when I was at the capture event. I briefly used Ronaldo. Really looking forward to testing this guy out, seeing what he can do for us on Ultimate Team. And then of course Luis Suarez, 82 pace, 86 dribbling, 90 shooting. I'm sure he's going to find the back of the net as well. So that is the most expensive tier that we've probably ever done, actually, on FIFA 18 3-tier squads. But like I said, the jump between tier 2 and tier 3 in this league is just nuts. If you want to get the most elite players from this league in, you have to bring in the Bale, the Suarez, the Ronaldo, the Messi, like... You can't, and they cost coins, so that's just the way it goes. But like I said, you know, you could take that Bale out, stick in Ousmane Dembele, and the cost comes down by like 400k. It's crazy. So do whatever suits your budget and whatnot. Time to go in and see what we got with this particular team, and then after that, I'm going to talk you through what I think my best value for money and just overall best La Liga team would be. So I was definitely buzzing to get stuck in with this squad, and the front three definitely delivered. They were the ones that scored the goals for me today. Just a quick shout out to Sergio Ramos and Varane at the back. Those two are a fantastic duo. Like, they're so quick. Ramos is aggressive as hell, whereas Varane is like tall and well, he's quicker, I think, but I think Sergio Ramos has got the better defending technique. But together they do make up a whopping duo at the back. You can't beat Jordi Alba for pace either, which is a great left back option. And in my midfield, well, Iniesta wasn't the greatest. Modric is good, Casemiro's good. I prefer him as like a holding player though, and obviously you're seeing that the front three did a good job. We scored a couple with Gareth Bale, excuse me, and then of course Suarez stepped up. He was just like moving away from the defender, just sort of like dropping the shoulder and getting away from someone and then tapping it home. He was able to do that a couple times, and then of course we've got a few goals that we scored with Cristiano Ronaldo as well, who I've got to say gets defended quite well. Well, I've never used Ronaldo on FIFA 18, like I said earlier, apart from a little bit at the capture event. And when you go in online on Ultimate Team with CR7 or CR8, as I've accidentally forgot to change his number in this particular squad, hope that hasn't triggered too many of you, because I didn't even notice it in game, I have to say, and normally that's something I do notice. But yeah, lots of people do their best to tackle Cristiano, so he's often a little bit closed off, which does open space up for Gareth Bale and whatnot, but he's also got the techers to actually get away from those defenders, and you'll see a lot of the time I'm just like slowly dragging and weaving the ball away from the defenders, and then it's just like the simplest of tap-ins in the end, because trying to wind up a long shot with Cristiano is not easy. You know, one, it's going to get blocked because they're going to stick defenders in the way, and two, they're going to man mark you with two players. So this right here is what I would suggest would be my favourite La Liga side. It's got a lot of players from tier number 3 in it, that is for sure, but of course that's kind of to be expected. Keylor Navas in goal. I've not used a more solid keeper in that league. He's good. Semedo and Jordi Alba at the back. Yeah, definitely recommend them. Ramos was great, but I'm going to definitely put Varane in. And then Umtiti for the value for money is as good, if not a little bit worse than Ramos. But of course, value for money wise, he is much better. He's a lot cheaper. And yeah, that's a solid duo at the back in Varane and Umtiti. My midfield, holding it down, is definitely going to be Casemiro. He deserves that spot right there. We've got Luka Modric and Paulinho in the midfield. Paulinho is sort of box-to-box, really hard working. And Modric is the same, but with a little bit more flair. I would happily play Suarez at cam. He's not the most rapid player. Really good acceleration, but his sprint speed's not so great. So I think a cam role might be perfect for him. Passing stats are good. And of course, he's got a really decent shot on him with that 90-odd shooting that he's got. And then we put Bakambu up front, and I'd happily play Cristiano as a striker on 7 chemistry, just because he would work. He just would. As a left forward in the 4-3-2-1, he does great, and I genuinely think he'd do absolutely fine as a 7-chem striker. So that is my favourite La Liga team, and that is, in general, the 3-tier squad builder for La Liga. Do us a favour, guys, and hit that thumbs up button if you have enjoyed. Don't forget, of course, to subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.